Jim, happy Halloween.
Oh, listen, happy Halloween to you too, Andrew. And I have to tell you that insurance fraud is always Fright night, and they don't come much more creepy than the insurance fraud Hall of Shame. These are the worst scammers of the worst of 2020. This is the no class of 2020. Now let's consider Richard Molesky, a true master of disaster. He claimed that he was a Navy SEAL who saved a fellow buddy, a fellow prisoner of war in Lebanon, in Beirut, 30 years ago. He said he lied flat out that he received the Silver Star and had life-changing combat wounds, not to mention PTSD. Well, guess what? Molesky was never a SEAL. He was never in combat. He never was wounded. All he did was invent an entire portfolio of medical injuries and combat to scam more than $300,000 in federal disability claims for wounds and PTSD that were complete vapor. The guy claimed he rescued 3 teammates in Beirut, and he carried one of them out from a window. He carried the body of one teammate out of a window who had been executed and helped get him out and back home, never leave anyone behind. He said he injured his knee in that incident, and he had permanent injuries from that and other wounds. It was all a lie. The guy has been convicted. He's going to spend serious time in jail.
Good, as he should, as he should. Any other imposters, right? You know, you're going to look out the window and see all these people walking down the streets in masks. Anybody else pretending to be somebody they're not to cash in?
Well, Patrick Wayne Brannan, he talked about haunted houses. Let's just say that he had a knack for haunted houses. The Texas guy will have 78 years in prison to think what he did wrong. What did he do? Well, he stole almost $2 million by buying homes for just a few dollars, $25,000 or less, rickety old homes. Then he torched them or flooded them after buying huge and overinflated policies. He was burning down houses and making huge profits on insurance policies. Or in other times, what he would do, he would break pipes on these houses, and they would flood the house. And again, he'd make these very large and inflated flood damage claims, some that almost completely ruined the house. Money just absolutely flowed in there. For instance, one example, he's had a straw owner, and they set up frying pork chops in the house. They put pork chops on the stove. The straw owner left the house. Guess what? The pork chops caught fire. The house caught fire. The place burned down. Great thing. Great excuse for burning a house. A great way to make insurance money for the Halloween.
Jim, I love myself a good haunted house, but what you just described to me, it's scary, right? And the problem is when people do stuff like this, you and I both know it's honest customers like us who pay the price for this kind of thing. So I always love when you guys put out the Hall of Shame report every year because it can be kind of entertaining, but it's also really eye-opening because sometimes it makes you wonder, why are we letting this happen?
Andrew, truer words were never spoken. These are the commanders in thief for the year, the extreme schemers. We all have to love them, but they also are very saddening. We get a lot of laughs out of them. We get a lot of tears out of them. But let's face it, this is the dark side of insurance fraud that we all have to watch out for. This is why we need to redouble our efforts to crack down on insurance fraud around the U.S.
Yeah. This is a really important thing you guys are doing at the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud. Love working together with you guys. This is the kind of stuff we're going to solve together. Always really nice talking with you, Jim. Enjoy the holiday. Be safe out there.
You too, Andrew. Thanks much.
Yeah. See ya.